from Virginia, USA at 12:37 a.m. Welcome, welcome. This is a live. And for those of you who are watching it later, I committed to these lives. I'm Sherifa Nakalema in Virginia, USA, and the lives are about the current ones. Going back to the topic of motivation. It's light motivation, not so deep, but light, to motivate you to take a step, to do something, to make your life better. I started this, yesterday was my birthday, just July 1st. So we started with the first one. And yesterday we were talking about, I said, what do you really want to do? Like, why and why do you want to do it? So we did that yesterday, and I'm doing this daily. Let's see how we'll do. Today, I'm saying, what do you have to stop? The bad habits that need to stop. Then, inshallah, God willing, that's what it means. Tomorrow, we are talking about, and welcome, Bruno. You're doing a good job. I saw Ashraf here. Ashraf Muhammad, welcome. Magala Robert, Salma. Let's see. Robert Magara Bruno, welcome, and please, when you see me live, just hop on for a minute you have, because I think it's going to be annoying. I'm committed to doing it every single day. If you can't make it, watch it later, but me, I'm committed to being here. And it used to be, normally my lives are supposed to be Friday and Sunday. Friday for USA around, we do that one 10:30 p.m. USA Eastern. That's for Friday. And then for Sunday, we do it. In fact, we're going to still do it. For some of you, it's already Sunday. We're going to do it. It's Sunday for me also, but really early in the night, 12:40. We have another, to be a premiere. Please know the difference. A premiere and a live. When it's a premiere, it means I set up a video that I recorded already, but we're going to watch it together. So that one is coming. And it's coming for you who are in Uganda. It's going to be 9 p.m. Sunday time. We're going to watch a video where I was celebrating 4 years. By the way, those of you who are watching this later, excuse me, I have to make announcements. The people in the chat. So I'm off topic right now. We're coming to the topic of bad habits. But let me first tell them, because we're going to meet again. It's a video celebrating 4 years on YouTube, and it has 15 people. 15 people sharing what they took away from the channel, but they're short videos. So please plan to be here at 9 p.m. I'm going to try to set it up early enough so you can see it hanging, waiting. Now, that kind of video plays exactly on time. Because I set it up, YouTube plays it. Now, these lives, when you see live, that's me playing it. So it tends to delay, and these days I ask you to please chat. Just chat, be in the chat, greet each other, have fun, no pressure. The reason I'm self-employed, I don't like pressure, no pressure. So I come, sometimes I have to finish my prayers to come and join you, because by the time I'm done here, I'm really tired. So that's why I delayed a little bit. So you just keep chatting, I'll join you. So I'm here now. The topic is bad habits. When I come here, I don't come as an expert, but I come as someone who likes to listen to other people, to research things. So I pick out what I think is practical. What do we need in our lives right now? I throw out a topic here to get you thinking. You can take some time also to research more, to learn more about it. So, bad habits. And we're going to talk about bad habits in relation to your life, my life, your life, the way you deal with time, the way you deal with, if you have a job, how do you behave at your job? Are you a good employee? Or even a boss? I should have put there. You could be a boss, manager. How do you do, your boss, the owner, like us, who hire people? How are you doing? Then with your health, how are you doing with your health? What are those bad habits? Then with your money, money, that's a big one. That's what I focus on here. I didn't even mention. If you're seeing me for the very first time, when I come live like this, I'm discussing something that's general, that applies to everyone. But if you find me in my videos, I'm talking about making money online, starting a business. Recently I started personal development, stuff like that. But when I come live, I like to do something that's general, like today, okay? So bad habits with money, bad habits in relationships, maybe with your husband, with your wife, with your children, with your mom, your dad, like how I deal with relationships, you have some bad habits over there. Then, so we're going to go over that. And as we do this, please check yourself. Remember, the intention is to stop. What do you need to stop doing? Then tomorrow we come back. Remember I said I'm doing this every day. Tomorrow we're going to talk about what do we need to start doing. So what do we need to stop doing? Before I even go into the specifics, what do you need to stop doing? Because they say that the only time you're going to get what, oh, welcome, Rookie Cookie is awake, still awake. That's for you. You Rookie Cookie, I saw the dance, thank you so much. So, they said if you want to, you're going to change to become whatever those things you want to get to, something has to change. Something has to change about you. Remember yesterday we said thoughts are things, and thoughts, from thoughts to your life. Your life is what you created using your thoughts. So that means now if you want to change, to do something better, the thoughts have to change. Something has to change. So what is it? Let's look at the bad habits. Let me go in general. Bruno, what do you need to change? What bad habit do you need to drop? You say, you know what? If I'm going, remember I started quoting Wesley Virgin, the one who's talking about to us about being more clear and all that. He said when he discovered, not discovered, he knew he was a parent. He had a girl and a boy. He said, you know, to hell with the party on the weekend. To hell with these friends who are not adding value to my life. To hell with everything. So he changed. He dropped the bad friendships, the bad habits, the drinking, whatever he was doing, he stopped it. So that's what we're talking about today. What do you need to stop? Bruno, I'm asking you specifically, what do you need to stop? The reason why I do this live, I could call a video. The reason we do it live, so we can discuss it. What do you need to drop, Robert? What do you need to drop, Salma, if you can hear me? What do you need to drop? Like to stop doing. Tomorrow we come and to Ashraf, are you still here? Rookie Cookie, what do you need to stop doing? But I'm going to go specifically to these areas. But before that, let's go in general. For me, I have to stop not sleeping enough. How about that one? Stop not sleeping enough. Like today, I've been busy the whole day. I thought I would take a nap before I come here. It didn't happen, so I'm here. So by the time I finish here, let's see, maybe it's going to go up to like 2 a.m. And then 4 a.m. it has to be time for Fajr, for prayer. So that means I'll say, you know what? Maybe let me wait for the solar. Then it ends up, and then it's morning, so it's crazy. The way I deal my sleep is bad. So I know that. I have to change it. Okay, let's see. Bruno, did you give an answer? All of you, please respond. That's why we do the lives. What do you have to stop? The things you do, and you know, I'll give you an idea. You could say, I need to stop being on TikTok too long. You go on TikTok too long, maybe that's what you need to stop. That's an idea. Who please put in the chat, let me see. Oh, Bruno, I wanted to know the word mashallah, what it means. Do you know if you went to Google can tell you the meaning of mashallah? Yes, but you ask Salma, maybe Salma will give you an answer. Okay, I'm waiting for an answer. Nothing? Remember, some people are going to watch this later. What do you need to stop? All of you, please participate in the chat. What bad habit do you have that you need to stop? You know, there are some habits. I have to stop watching films. Okay. No, films. Oh. Films, that's a bad one. You know what you could do? Let me tell you. If you're the kind that likes to watch films, like if you want to make your life better, watch films, people telling their story, their success story, like how they started. See, like for example, I like to buy books, but you can watch stories. I was gonna get a book here for, Starbucks. Starbucks, the company for coffee. He tells the story. I have the book here. So if that was like a film, and you to watch him person talking about it, watch biographies, autobiographies. You know the difference? Biographies, someone talking about someone they're reporting, and then autobiography, the person is telling the story themselves. Those are good. Those are good spend of time, because if you hear someone tell their story and how they struggled and what they went through, it gives you courage. It inspires you to also do better, right? Then you're going to know that all those people, look at YouTube. Everyone who is on YouTube started with 0 subscribers. They had 0. You may see them having 1 million today, but they had to start with 0. So when you see a big company, it started as a small idea. So if you were watching a film and someone is telling the story, like for example, the story of Amazon.com. You see, Amazon is big, but he started it in the basement. He came with this idea of selling books, but he started it in the basement. So if you know that, someone started in the basement, it gives you courage also to start your idea. So those kind of videos or movies are like that. Do that. Okay. I think social media is the one that would be a problem. If you go there just for fun and watch one TikTok after another, and they consume a lot of data. For those of you in Uganda, TikTok is very expensive in terms of data. But if you want to watching is educational, fine. Like YouTube could be something educational, that's good. Okay. Who else? Who wants to participate? What do you need to stop? Okay, let's go to the specifics now. Because that one, Bruno, that one is to do with time. It's to do with time. Remember I said we're going to talk about the bad habits as far as time. So what do you need to stop doing as far as time? Right here, I said, I had some notes I put here, and they're saying that actually not having clear goals. Remember we were talking about that yesterday? When you don't have a clear goal, like for the day, you didn't plan your day well, it can also be a waste of time, a bad habit. Because can you imagine? You wake up and you didn't even plan where to start, where to do. That one is a bad one too. Stop not having a clear plan for your day. Stop not doing. So the opposite would be have a clear plan. So when we have tomorrow, we may have to repeat some of these things, doing the opposite. What do you need to do better? Okay? So they say poor scheduling. By the way, I think poor scheduling would be mine, because I overschedule. When I look at my day, I put that and that and that and that. These are so many things. It's hard to finish them. And remember, have you seen people who tell the stories? Actually, right here on YouTube, if you want, who say, like, for example, if you wanted to be a teacher, there are people who tell stories. They say a day in the life of. If you think of a profession you want to do and you're not so sure what they do, I remember when I used to be in school, I was wondering, people when they go to offices, I wonder what they do. Like when I was young, I was wondering what people do in their offices. So if you wonder what people do, go search here on YouTube and say a day in the life of a teacher. You're going to find the teacher who tells their story from beginning, like of the day, to the end of the day. You say, oh, okay, that's what teachers do. Then you see if you want to do that. So, for me, remember I said that my bad habit of scheduling too much. I remember one time someone recorded a day in the life of an entrepreneur, like people who are in business like us, and I could not believe what they did. They went, there was a meeting in the morning, and they did this one other thing, then they went for lunch, they came back and interviewed a person, and the day ended. I said, really? That's all they do? I felt like, what? That's too little. They're doing too little. I felt like that wasn't, You go to work and that's all you do. It was too little. So for me, I overschedule. I put too many. That's why I keep saying I need a personal assistant, someone to help me with some of these things. Because there are too many, That's why you see that I schedule them, and then like when you're waiting for me here and you don't see me, I still have to share the video, I have to set up, I have to, like, everything on me, okay? Okay, me, stop time wasting, yeah? Yeah. So, let's go to, I'm still on time. They said overscheduling was mine. And not scheduling, some of you wake up and you didn't schedule anything. Now you have to think of how to spend your day. Let's say multitasking. You know, I disagree with this person. You know, multitasking means doing two things maybe at the same time. You know, I talk about time management a lot over here. And let me show you where multitasking could work. Doing two things at the same time. They were saying that it's not a good thing because you are distracted, you are not fully focused. I disagree actually. I think you can multitask. Let me show you multitasking. You could be driving a car and listening to your audiobook. You could be cooking and watching a video. So people say they can't do it. I can do it. When I have these classes, the lessons I do, I can be watching and cooking. What I do, I put my phone like right there close to where I'm cooking. I'm watching and cooking. I can do that. I listen to the news when I'm cooking. I used to do a lot of ironing clothing. I iron while I'm watching something. For me, I do this very, very, when I'm speaking on the phone, normally when I'm talking to someone on the phone, I'm like doing something else. Maybe I'm cooking. So people who say multitasking is bad, actually I use it a lot and it's good for me. Some people say, like when I used to be in the gym, I'm on a treadmill and I'm reading a book. This book, Tina Turner, this one that I have here, is another one I put. The late Tina Turner. I read this whole book while on a treadmill in the gym. So for me, I disagree. They were giving it as a bad habit. I think it's a good one for me if you combine things that can need to be combined that don't need your full attention. So if I'm cooking, I don't need to be like focused. No, I can listen to something. I can be on the phone call. Okay, so what do you think? You want to stop sleeping more time, so you want to sleep less? You want to sleep less, Magala, or sleep more? They recommend, depending on your age, they say sleep 9 hours sometimes. I think, I was thinking about that, and I thought in my whole life, I don't think I've ever slept 8 hours, as far as I know. Maybe when I was very young, I don't know. But from the time I know my life, I don't think I've ever slept a full 8 hours. I don't think so. Like continuously like that. Because you know how school is. School, you don't sleep that much. And then after school, I remember, no, not 8. It's too much. I don't think I've ever done it. So my sleeping is bad. I tell you. That's why my brain is going crazy. Yeah. So yeah, sleep. They say you talk to your doctor before you decide how many hours to sleep. Sleep 8. They say 8, 7. And then some say that if your body is used to the time you sleep, maybe 6 hours, that can be fine if your body is used to it. But for me, what I used to do, I still do sometimes, is take a nap. If you don't sleep well at night, at least put in a nap during the day to help with that. I'm not a doctor, please. Don't take my advice. Just listen. If it makes sense, you take it. Okay, what else they say? Having too much to do. I already said that. That's mine. Prioritizing, urgent, important. We did that. Distracting, perfection. No, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. At least you get the idea. Time. Look at your time. Whenever I talk about time, I say, take the 24 hours and mark what you do for every hour. Soon you're going to see that you are not using your time properly. And especially if you want to be self-employed like us, for me, from the time I started being self-employed, I always worked like at least maybe 15 hours a day or even more. I'm doing shifts. I could do a shift of 6, another like that. And overwork, actually. Otherwise, you can't finish it. So, I'm moving to another one. That was time. Job, if you are an employee working for someone, please, let me hear employees. What do you need to stop doing? To stop doing. That's not good. Where you could be a better employee. Bruno, is this going to still be you? or rookie cookie. Rookie cookie, what do you need to stop doing that's not good for your job? Something you need to stop doing as an employee. You know, I've not been an employee for a long time. What do you need to stop doing? So those of you who are watching, normally I don't talk about employees here. I talk about self-employed people. But for this purpose, let's talk about employees, because the whole world there's more employees than employers, right? So what do you need to stop doing? Here they were saying that stop being a poor performer. You don't do your job right. Do your job the way they ask you to do it. In fact, try to do it even beyond, like better than they ask you to do it. They said poor performance. I'm going to go through this real quickly. They said you can be an employee who is resistant to change. I used to be that kind a long time ago. I didn't like things changing too much. Until when I worked for Uganda Revenue Authority in Uganda, and they were changing us from sales tax to VAT. Oh my goodness. The whole system was new, training and more training. I didn't like that too much, but that's now I know. Change is inevitable. Especially with this technology, change is coming. So if you're an employee, you need to be willing to change. And you know, when you adapt to change, that's how you get to be promoted as an employee. If you're flexible, your employer is going to like you. They'll promote you and give you bigger positions. So when change comes, be ready. Then they said that if you resent authority, it shouldn't be there. They say we could be an employee who don't want to be told what to do. Come join us. Come be self-employed. You don't want to be an employee if you don't like to take orders, especially if you are older. Maybe you've been with the company for a longer time, 10 years, and they bring these young children from school, call them children, they're children, college graduates, just finished college, and they come and become your boss. That one is annoying. So it's time for you to plan to create your own thing. I'm with you there. I don't want to take orders from someone who could be your son or your daughter. No. So if you resent that, it's time to quit. Not quit, it's time to plan to create your own thing. That's me. Then they said, if you're an employee, you have to be a good team member. Like if you put you together with a team, you have to work on a project, you have to be very, very flexible and go. Like people, that's sometimes on an interview, they ask you if you're a good team player. If you're not a good team player, so stop it. If you are, these things that I'm reading here, if you are bad at them, stop. Be good. Be a good team member. Another one they say that, you know, when you get to be, when some people don't do this, but actually it's important. When you get a job, always try to understand what is important, the mission. Why did they start this business? Why did they start this company? Why did they start this organization? You know, the mission. That now they're saying that some employees, they're not interested in the mission. If you're not interested in the mission, then how are you going to be an employee? I remember when I keep talking about the Uganda Revenue Authority, I remember, you know, at that time, Museveni, the president, had gone to other countries and invited so many investors, right? So there were many companies starting factories in the industrial area there in Uganda, and we used to go to register them for sales tax. But I remember at one point, I was talking to one of those people who will go there to audit them, sales tax. At that time, it was sales tax before VAT. And I asked him a question. I said, I don't know anyone in Uganda Revenue Authority. I only know you. I only know you. When he said that, now it relates to this. You could be the only person that the customer, the people are dealing with, which means you are the one representing the company. Now, if you're not interested in the mission of the company, that's what they're saying here, that you have to stop that habit. You need to educate yourself to know the why, what's important for this company, this organization that you're working for, because you could be the one communicating the mission, but you're not even communicating it properly because you don't even know what it is, you're not interested in what it is. I'm talking to employees today, okay? make sure you familiarize yourself with why this business was created, why this organization was created. If you don't know that, you are in the wrong place. Okay, then they're saying, if you are not responsive to feedback, if your boss says, you know what, you need to stop this, you need to stop that, and you're not listening. I used to have, with the cleaning business, I used to have a girl who liked to text. I give her to clean the kitchen. When you come to check on her, she's texting. She's texting. And her stop. So if she keeps doing that, that's a bad habit to stop. That's why some companies these days, they don't even allow you to be close to your phone. You have to put it away. You can't work close to your phone, I think, because phones can become a problem. And also computers. Some people are shopping. In time of work, they are all there on their computer shopping. Bad habits. Okay. What else? Lazy. They say you are lazy. You don't care about learning the job right. Okay. That's enough about the employee. There's a lot to change there. Do you have any of those? Stop. You need to change or you're going to lose the job. You won't be promoted. Okay. Let's go to health. What do we need to stop as far as health? Today we don't have Janet, I think. I don't think we have Janet in here. She likes to talk about health a lot. So what do we need to stop concerning health? Tell me, Bruno. Oh, welcome, Mariam. Welcome. What do we need to stop? Mariam, since you are here, concerning your health, what do you need to stop? What's the bad habit you are doing that you need to stop? Remember, tomorrow we're going to come back and we're going to be talking about what we need to start. But we're talking about stop. The obvious things to stop, if you are you care about your health, right? Smoking. You don't hear when they're talking about smoking, they said smoking tobacco. I wonder why they did it like that. When they smoking tobacco, is there some smoking that's good? Okay, they said smoking tobacco, over drinking, of course, or eating junk food, bad habits, not moving, like you sit and sit forever. You don't move, you're supposed to move. And then they said, of course, unhealthy foods. You know, there's another, they said living a lonely life. And the statistics were interesting, what I found, that more than a third of people who are 45 years and older, they live a lonely life. And they said a quarter of those who are 65 years and older live a lonely life. So they were saying it's bad for you, it's bad for your health, you need to socialize. So in the community, you can go check out where you can mix up with other people. It's not good. It's a bad habit, being a loner. You know, a loner, being alone. I think I'm likely to be that kind of person. Although for me, I like to socialize, like on the phone. I talk with other people, and I feel good like that. Like I just have conversations on the phone. Physically, I can be alone, but I talk to many people. So my mind wanders like that. Okay, the other one, living a loner life, tobacco, we talked about stressing. Yeah, stressing is not good, being extra weight. And then there's this one, especially if you are like in Uganda or developing countries, taking care of teeth. The teeth, that if you are careless about our teeth or our hygiene, then the mouth, oral hygiene, the teeth, you can, if you don't have good teeth, you could develop like gum disease, and gum disease affects your heart. The first time I got to know about the connection between teeth and the heart, I said, really? You say, yeah, because everything is passing through the mouth to get into your body. So the mouth needs to be clean. And for us, there in Africa, you only go to a dentist when your teeth is like you want to get it out. Seriously. This thing of going just for cleaning teeth, very few people maybe are doing it. So that's bad. At least if you can't go to the dentist, let's try to clean the teeth, to be very, very, especially like what? Anyway, I don't want to behave like a dentist. I'm not a dentist. Just know that your your mouth needs to be clean. Otherwise, the disease go to your heart. That's a bad habit of not cleaning your mouth. Now, let's see, what's that? I think I'm about to leave this one, living a lonely life, unhealthy food, no sleeping. We talked about sleeping, that's mine. Okay. Now, the other one, money. Woo, we're on the topic, bad habits with money. Let me see. What are your bad habits with money? Bruno, bad habits with money. You know, when we talk about money, there is two things. There's money coming in and there is money going out. So, they say, if you are struggling with money, take a look at these two things. How much is coming in and how much is going out? Either you have an income problem or you have a spending problem. So which one is it? Or you could be having both. You could be having a little money coming in and then spending too much. Ashraf, spending more than you earn. Yes. Now you have an income problem. An income problem, it could be it could be both. But when it's more of an income problem, if you can't even meet your monthly expenses, like the basic expenses, now it's a serious problem. Yes, spending what you don't have. So we need a budget. We have to know how much is coming in, how much is going out, what is a need and a want. Let me ask you, what's the difference between a need and a want? It's good that you have Ashraf close by. Ashraf is good with definitions. Do you know the difference between a need and a want? Because as you're spending your money, you have to know, is this a need? Is this a want? Yes, not having an emergency fund, yeah. Because if you don't even have enough to pay the expenses, how are you going to have an emergency fund? That's sad. It's sad life, especially now. It's tough. It's tough. I think very few people have those emergency funds. Even here in America, the ones who had them, they spent all of it. It's gone. Because of the inflation, the prices are going up. So give me the difference between a need and a want. Because if you know the difference between a need and a want, maybe you're going to be spending your money differently. Because before you decide to spend money, you know this is a need, this is a want. Ashraf, help us. What's the difference between a need and a want? So here they were talking about buying more. I'm waiting for the difference between a need and a want as I'm looking through this. You know, this thing of keeping up with the Joneses is really, really bad. Because I remember, I keep talking about Revenue Authority for too long, although it was a long time ago. Because, you know how, Revenue Authority was paying really well. And young people started buying cars. Now, some people, you could see that they really could not afford to buy a car. But one young man actually bought a car. Guess what? He didn't have money to pay for the fuel to go in the car. Can you imagine that? That's what they call keeping up with the Joneses. Like you're doing things because other people are doing it. You want to buy what other people are buying. You want to dress the way other people are dressing when you can't afford it. So that's a disease. We have to. No one gave me the difference between a need and a want. You know, we need the difference between a need and a want because it's very, very important. It's a basic thing. No one is giving me. Okay, that's when you need a budget, saving for emergency. You know, emergency, they say, if your expenses, the basic expenses, like for shelter and for food, or the basic, okay, a need is a must. How about a want? That's good. That's good, Bruno. They say that you have to save up, they used to say 6 months of expenses, 6 months. And like if your expenses a month are like 1,000, I mean the basics, they said you needed 6 months of emergency saved up. Like in the case of emergency, 6 months, then later they said maybe you need 8 months. I remember when my husband had an accident, it took 11 months. 11 months. So 11 months, you need like a whole year of saving, just waiting in case of emergency. Okay, so no emergency fund. And then, you know, there was another problem I found when I was talking about bad habits. The habit of saving it and just saving it. And just saving it and keeping it in the bank. You just save it and that's it. It's a bad habit. Why? Because of inflation. Because it's losing value. That's why Robert, he's always close by here. He says savers are losers. That's what he calls them. Now that's the point he meant. That you cannot just save your money and put it in the bank. Because if you do, by the time you get it out, it will have lost value. So you have to save and then invest. Save, invest. Yes, you have to invest it. Invest. If you don't, by the time you go get it, whatever you put there, it can't even buy anything. You lost it. So saving, just for just saving, is not right. But then the other thing is what they were teaching. You know what they said? Pay yourself first, especially for us who are self-employed. They say pay yourself first. You know what they mean? You pay yourself first. Before you deal with other issues, you pay yourself first. Otherwise, you end up not paying yourself at all. Yeah, having only one bank account, that one is bad also. Thank you. Following get rich, yeah. Having only one bank account is bad because I'll tell the story of one time when I went to the bank. In fact, I was sending money to Uganda, and the bank said, they told me that the systems are not working. I said, systems are not working? Yeah. And they said, because the systems are not working, we can't give you any money because we don't know how much you have in your account. That the most we can give you is $100. That's when I knew. And the good thing, I already had another account, so I went to another bank. But they said the most we can give you right now is 100 because we can't know how much you have. Can you imagine that? And so many things happen, especially here. They hacked my account, my bank account. So if you hack your account and they take all the money, then you can't pay your bills, you can't because of one bank account. Thank you, Ashraf, for bring that to attention, to mentioning that, the richest man in Babylon. Yeah, thank you, Ashraf. That's why I like you, and that's why I want you to be on YouTube. Ashraf, you have not done it. You need to be on YouTube. Because we could be here exchanging ideas. You could be a YouTuber, you could come live together. When are you starting YouTube, Ashraf? Okay, they were talking about saving, that you have to save before you spend. Although I don't know that works, that you have to save first. It's like paying yourself first before you decide what else to do. But then, if it's not enough, then how do you save first? That's the theory they were putting here. That first save, for example, if you're here in America and you said every month I save $200, first save the 200, then you figure out how to use the difference. But you may land into an income problem. A cash flow problem. If you already said you have to save 200, and then this month you find that if you save 200, what is left is not enough. Now it's time to know that, you know what, we have to figure out how to make more money because it's not enough. So they were saying start with saving first, not saving last. That most of us spend, and then we save what's left. The same when you are, yeah, Ashraf is very smart. Very smart, Ashraf. I want him to come on YouTube. So, and then they were talking about the biggest problem, the one I've been talking about recently, mindset. The mindset problem of lack of thinking there's no money, money is not enough, money doesn't grow on trees. Those rich people, they are rich because they do bad things. The mindset. So how to fix our mindset, okay, as far as the money. Now, I'm moving away from money. You make sure you make enough. When you make enough, at least you have a good beginning. Then, we're talking about the American way, before I leave it. If I talk about someone in USA, there could be a different problem. You know, in America, they borrow a lot. It's borrowing left and right. So the borrowing depends on your credit. Every person has a credit score. So people who have a credit score of 900, 800, 700, over 700 is good, right? Now, if you're not careful, They are offering you everywhere you go. They want to give you money. Robert Kiyosaki told the story that at one point the banks were throwing money at him. He was just refusing it. So they want you to borrow because they know you have good numbers. You're going to pay. So you have to be careful. One time I think there was a young man who had how many cards? There was so many. I said, really, that's possible? So many credit cards. Because they're throwing cards at you. They want you to borrow all the time. So you have to be careful when you have a good credit score. Don't just take the cards just because they're giving them to you. Hello, a normal person is here. Hello, normal person. Today we are talking about bad habits. Bad habits. Just covered bad habits with time, bad habits at a job, bad habits with our health, bad habits with our money. And now I'm about to go to something else. But then when we're talking about bad habits with health, I didn't mention, I just said not eating well. But I used to eat salt and sugar. I changed two things, not eating salt. I'm older. I'm not like you are young. But as you get older, salt is going to affect your blood pressure becomes higher. And then also sugar is not too much. It's not good to my daughter used to joke the kind of sugar I used to use. But when I traveled to Uganda and I saw my friend injecting himself because of sugar, I stopped. Cold turkey. I said, me, no more sugar. So that's my story. As you get older, try to reduce. I think sugar is not good for you at any point. But salt, as you get older, try to use less. Yeah. Thank you. I'm 56 years young. Thank you so much. And no more. You're supposed to send me a message. You didn't send me from our discussion yesterday. Okay. Let's go to the last one. Maybe this will be the last one. The last category. Remember, I finished time. I finished job. I finished health. I finished money. And as we were talking about job, we should have talked about the bosses. Like the bosses, also, as a boss, check yourself. How are you dealing with, how are you managing whatever, the organization and the employees? Are you being fair? Like, for example, here in America, we just had Eid. We are Muslims. Now, you don't allow people to take off their Eid, really. Like on Friday, you don't allow them to go pray. Stuff like that. Need to know the needs of every person. If you know you have a mother, right? You have a mother in your employees. You need to know that, you see, there is flexibility there. Because they have young kids. Maybe they are good employees, but you need to be flexible. Give them a flexible schedule so they can deal with their children. Maybe a child is sick. Stuff like that. As a boss, also, change your ways, okay? Now, relationships. What do you need to change? We're not talking about change. Stop doing. It's what we're talking about today. Tomorrow we're going to come back to what we need to start doing. What we're not doing, we need to start, right? Now, what we are doing, we need to stop. What do you need to stop as you relate to your husband? What do you need to stop as you relate to your wife? What do you need to stop as you relate to your children? What do you need to stop as you relate to your friends? What do you need to stop as you relate to your co-workers? What do you need to stop as you relate to, like us business people, we have like your people on the same level. What do you need to stop? Okay? I didn't get into details of that because this will be like too long, right? What do you need to stop? Just an idea. Think of the way you are dealing with these people and think of what you need to stop. Tomorrow we're going to come and talk about what we need to start. Somewhere I was listening and they're talking about, by the way, I didn't talk about, when you talk about relationships, there's a very important relationship. That's a relationship with your creator. The other day, my car had air. Air was low. So I called the company, AAA, to come put air in my car. So the guy who came, he said he was originally from Iran and he was we were talking about this topic of God. I said, you look like a Muslim. He said, yeah, people think I'm a Muslim, but actually I'm not. I'm from Iran, but see, I'm not. I said, so why? What's going on? He said, I said, so you don't believe in God? We were talking about religion. He said, no, I only believe in me. The only important is me. I said, really? Yeah, so that conversation was interesting. I meet so many people like that who don't believe in God and stuff. So as we talk about relationships, how is your relationship with, or you are like that guy, you don't believe there is a God. I believe there is a God. So for those of you who believe there is a God, how is your relationship with your Creator? What do you need to stop doing? Let me tell you, when I deal with my 5 prayers, you know the prayer that's always challenges me is Isha. The prayer, the last prayer before sleep. Because I learned to pray it, like right now it comes at 10, 15, 10. I tend to sit and but I doze off, I pray a little bit late. So that's my challenge. What's your challenge? What do you need to stop doing? I need to wait for the other, like when it happens, I pray, but it's a challenge for me. So what about you, Ashraf? What is your, oh, Ronnie, Ronnie, how are you, Ronnie? Where have you been? Ronnie, have you been here all this time? Welcome, welcome. We're talking about the things we need to stop doing. If you had me all this talk I've been doing, what do you need to stop doing? So, Ashraf, which solar challenges you like that? For me, it's a issue. The only good thing is it has like a long time. It has a long time. But whenever it does, I say this shaitan is really strong because, yeah. Okay. These are the points I had someone else talk about when they were talking about the habits, the things that we need to stop doing. They're talking about focusing on things you cannot control, right? You know you cannot change it. That's how it is. Let's assume you are created as a very tall person and it's a problem for you. You don't like being very tall. What are you going to do? You want to go cut off legs or something? No, you are tall. So just here in America, tall people are paid millions. Maybe go start playing basketball or something with your tallness. So things you cannot control shouldn't bother you. Just figure out how to live with it. And then you're talking about the problem of scrolling. We talked about that, wasting time on social media, the things you have to stop doing. And he also talked about something what I thought relates to me also. Remember I said scheduling too much? Also, the big goals. Actually, for me, my challenge is to set the big goals. But he was talking about people who set big goals that are too big. They don't even know where to start. So if you set the goals that are too big, it can become a problem. Now for me, I set goals, I need to set bigger goals. That's my challenge. But he was saying, okay, if you have a big goal, he's not saying don't dream big, but break it down into chunks that you can focus on and finish. Otherwise, you're going to be looking at it, it's too big, you don't even start. So stop having those large goals, make them into smaller chunks, and then as you finish that, you go to the next. If you go deep into that, you go study, they'll show you how to do that. Today we're not discussing details. Then we talk about that people, for example, when they're paying, we learn marketing. And in marketing they say that men tend to buy things using logic, using their brain, what makes sense. Then women tend to buy things depending on how they feel, like they feel good. So he was warning people who make decisions according to how they feel. Like, oh, you say, I feel good, or I like the person selling, and you buy something. In fact, he was also warning about, Ashraf, when we were talking about the money, people who, we know how they say, buy 2, get the third one free. Like buy 2, get the third one free. They are trying to make you buy a lot. But you could be buying a lot and wasting money. Maybe you're not even going to use all of it. So be careful when you're spending. And sometimes they say, okay, free shipping if you spend over $75. Now you start looking for other things to buy to make it 75, but you didn't come here to buy things for 75. Maybe you wanted to buy things for $40. Now you try to be forced to buy things you didn't plan to buy. That you watch out for those kind of things. So you don't overspend just because you're trying to get the free stuff, free shipping. Okay? Okay. I was about to explain that choosing what feels good. You do things because you feel good. Doing like you feel good in the moment, like shopping or buying, spending, whatever you do, because you feel good in the moment. You have to be careful. So that's it. That's it. I think I'll stop there. But I'm going to review. For those of you who are joining, we're talking about. I started coming here. I intend to be here every day, God willing, like around midnight my time. Midnight 15 minutes is when I'll set it like that. If you're in Uganda, it's around 7:15, 7:30. You come and chat. The chat will be open. Starting around 7 a.m., I'll make sure the chat is up here. You can come and have conversation, but me, I will join you after 7:15. Then, if you're in UAE, it's going to be 8, right? That will be 8 for you. 8:15, 8:15. If you're in Malaysia, that will be 12, midday. Those in USA, only Lukia Cookie, who is in Pacific time, around 9:15 p.m. But if you're in where I am, it's midnight, 15 p.m. So we do this daily. I call it my motivation. It's not deep motivation, but I'm actually trying to motivate you to change something. I call it After 56 Years. It's a playlist. We started yesterday. Yesterday I was asking you, please do things intentionally. What's your why? Why are you doing those things? Don't just follow. Just because everyone is going to Saudi Arabia, you're going to Saudi Arabia. No. Maybe you don't have to go to Saudi Arabia. That's only what you want to do. So don't just follow because people are doing, you do. Check your heart first. What do you really want to do? Don't become a doctor just because your sister became a doctor. Be a doctor because you want to be a doctor. That was yesterday. You can go watch it. It was the first one we did. So today, I'm going to come every single day, God willing. Now, for those of you who are in that video, I recorded a video. It's coming. We have a video celebrating 4 years on YouTube. It's coming today. Okay, today if you're in USA, it's going to be around 2 p.m. Eastern time. If you're in Pacific time, 11 a.m. If you're in Uganda, it's going to be around 9 p.m. If you are, I'll set it up the same way. You can come and chat. It will be a premiere playing at exactly 9 p.m. That's what I'm intending to do. But you can come and chat. Bruno, you can come early and chat before it plays. But when it comes to 9 p.m., it will start playing. Please plan to be here. We want to see there are 15 people. 15 people are in the video. They have short videos, but they are in there, 15. And we're going to watch that. So, God willing. Now, today, in this day that we're speaking, around 9 p.m. So every single day I'll be coming if I'm able to. If I'm not, look on the community tab. I'll put something out if I'm not able to make it. Okay, today we're talking about the habits that you have to stop doing. Things to do with your time, the way you manage your time. Things to do with the job, the way you are, if you're an employee. Now I mentioned it a little bit about if you're a boss at the job. I mentioned, yeah, 15 people including Janet. Janet, where have you been? We missed you today. Where have you been? Welcome, Janet. I'm closing it. What do you need to change concerning time? What do you need to change as an employee? What do you need to change as the boss? You are the boss at the job. What do you need to change to do with your health? What do you need to change to do with your money? What do you need to change to relationships, your husband, your wife, your children, your friends, co-workers, business partners, what do you need to change? And we went through a lot. So if you missed it, please, it's going to play. When I close it, it's going to come back and play. You can watch it. And please, tonight, we'll come back. We're going to come back too much, right? Because we have to come back to watch that video. And then we're going to come back to continue this conversation. I'm going to continue, bring them until. Because, like I always say, do things while you can. Do things while you can. You know, there is someone who, I don't know if you heard about him. There was a gentleman who was very, very famous here, a Muslim. He died abruptly in UAE. And he was a Canadian. He was, I don't want to name the name, but just know the story that, bye-bye, normal person, come tomorrow. Do things what you can, yes. A normal person, please be here. Pastor, we love you. Keep coming, keep coming. So he died. The one who started a Maghreb, they call it a Maghreb Institute. Do you know, are you familiar with that gentleman? He died, was it like last year or 2 years ago? Abruptly, he was in UAE. And he was like leaving a masjid and he fell and died. But when the people were telling this story, in fact, he was on Facebook a lot. People were showing him on Instagram, everywhere. He was people like Yasir Kadi, those, now I'm talking to Muslims. I saw a change in those people. Because he had started these things, he had done a lot. And modernizing, like the way they were teaching people Islam and stuff. He started that Al-Maghrib Institute. But when he died, people were so shocked, they overworked. When I look at my feed, like every day, videos are coming every single day. They're overworking. Because they realize that, you know what? You only have today. You don't know if you have tomorrow. So, I'm doing the same. I'm doing the same. I'm going to be here. If I'm gone, you watch them. They'll be here, hopefully, on YouTube. Thank you all so much. If you didn't watch it from the beginning, when it starts, it goes on. When I stop the button, it's going to come on as a video. Watch it. By the way, I didn't mention, in the description of this video, I put the puzzle. It's not a puzzle. It's what? A quiz. A quiz. If you go, it's a free quiz. If you click and go take that quiz, you're going to find out some issues you have. You may have. I think all of us have them. What is blocking your success? What is slowing you down? Why are you not taking action? The quiz is free. It's in the description below. You can go, take that quiz, and take. My mission here is to ask you to change your life. By the way, I didn't even ask you, what are you going to change? Bruno, what are you going to change from what we discussed here? Ashraf, are you still on? Ronnie, are you still on? What are you going to do from this discussion so that it's not a waste of time? What did your takeaway? Janet, you came late. I don't think you followed us today. What is your takeaway? Let me hear that, then I'll cut it off. What did you take away? What are you going to change concerning those of you who come later, please? Put comments later. Some of you are going to watch it later. Always, please, when you watch my videos, add a comment. That's the only way I know you watched it. What is your takeaway from this? What are you going to change as far as your time? What are you going to change as far as your job? You know, you always have to do your very best, right? What are you going to change as far as your health? What are you going to change as far as your money and the relationships and everything we talked about here? Although here, everyone is going to pray. Yeah, go pray, go pray, go pray. Do things what you can. I'm going to change my shopping habits. Someone is changing the shopping. Yeah, have a budget. Don't be, when they say, if you buy so much, you give this free. No. Stick with your budget. When I was strict with my money, I used to go with cash. I'll go with cash, and that's it. So when you have something else, it's flexible. But when you have only cash, you say, that's all I got. Yeah. Okay, thank you all so much. Remember, we are here every day. And if you are in Uganda, around 9 p.m., come back here. If you are in UAE, around 2 a.m., Janet, set your alarm. If you are in America, it's going to be 2 p.m. If you are in UAE, it's going to be around 10 p.m. Let's come and watch that other video. It's in the works. I'm about to schedule it a few hours from now to be on here. Thank you all so much. Always add a comment, like it, share it. Like I always end them, I say, take very good care of yourself. Take very good care of your families. Take very good care of your health. Without it, you have nothing. Take a step to better you. Bye.